Hey YouTube, Meef here. Welcome to episode 9 of our FTB Continuum. Quick tips, tricks, and such. This time through, we're going to be building some generators, some flux duct. I think I've got enough material here to do the sawmill as well. You can see I kind of tore down the base. You can see where it used to be. Kind of increased this a little bit, made it a little more spacious, I guess, move things around. Open it up a little bit so that we can kind of get some organization to the chaos. So let's just start. The first thing I'm going to do here is start with a survival generator. And there's a few pieces, parts that need to be made here. And this one is going to require 4 iron casing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right away here. Missing some sticks. Just do all of those. That should get us there. Let's finish this out. Oops. Almost there. You'll notice I got some extra shit in my inventory here that we're going to use. Okay, there's that. And there it is. So, one of the most expensive things here that I've found is this stupid aluminum gear, because it seems to be spawning rare for me, and I don't know what the hell's going on. But that's that was the one issue I had, was that aluminum gear. So let's pick this guy up. I'm not going to place it just yet, because at the same time, if you look in Better Questing, there's one for the coal generator. And we're going to fire this one up too, just because we can do these in tandem. We need some more of these bad boys. Do I have the material for it? Yes, I do. We're going to need one more of these though. That's okay. Let's get this done first. Put those. We're going to need 2 furnaces. I don't have any cobblestone on me. Son of a bitch. Grab a stack of that. Get rid of the old shovel. Okay, now let's see if we can move them. Again, this is also kind of an expensive machine. You're looking at 3 gold here, 3 gold, and then another 4, so that's 10 and a certain amount of iron. It's probably worth it, especially when you get to empowering stuff. It's kind of an expensive ordeal. Regardless, okay, since we've got that done, the next thing on the list, and we're gonna kill a few birds here with 1 stone. So we just did this. Next we're going to make some lead flux duct. So let's go ahead and do that, because I think I've got enough materials to do that. And these aren't all that complicated. The basic circuit board is probably the most time consuming. It's just tin and then some redstone, a little bit of water. No big deal. And I think I've got enough for 3 of these. That's all I wanted out of there. Take the rest of that back, so that's enough for 12. And I think, yep, that's enough to satisfy that little quest there. What was it? It was just 1. Doesn't matter. And we're going to do this sawmill right away too, because I think I have the material for it. And we're going to get all this shit and plop it down. Iron gear, missing an iron casing again. What are we missing? Whoops. A couple more sticks. Let's try that again. Okay. couple of lead, another circuit board, an iron gear this time through, and then these golden axes. So these are 5 minutes a piece. 10 minutes will get those done at the standard speed that I've been running it at with a single gearbox, which is going to get upgraded the next time you see me. But let's get this put together. So here's a sawmill. Provides additional lumber. So let's get this picked up. Okay, so that is our equipment. Let me ditch some of this spare shit that I don't need so we don't have to look at it. Okay, now before I get too carried away here, let's make it daytime just because. And I think I'm going to set this stuff up over here, and then that empowering altar is going to be set right here. So what I want to do is kind of make this half pretty. Let's see if I can do that, because eventually I'm going to have to go underneath there and clean all this up. But get that in there, that in there. This can hook in the machine twice, whatever, I don't care. But these generators I'm going to put up. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. These are going to go off the floor for right now. I'm going to end up having to make more flux duct anyway. Shit, that's not where I want that. Come on, there you go. Wrong machine, man. Put that up there. In fact, I don't really want this even over here. The reason is because I think these are an RF sink. Like I don't know, it's like they constantly drain it, and I don't really want to do that right now. So I'm going to put that. Let's just go like this, and let's put this guy on the floor. Leave that torch there, that's no big deal. So here's what we got. The leadstone flux duct is running underneath these two machines. Got a couple connections here, and I need a crescent hammer. Are these expensive? No, they're not. We can do that. I'll get that next episode, no big deal. We'll drop some of these connections off here so we can easily pull this out. That way these will just supply themselves, and then pop this off too. So we're going to organize these. But let's first start with, let's go with our survival generator. So these are typically pretty cheap to run. We can turn this on. It's got speed upgrades. We're not going to worry about this right now. But let's put 5 of these oak wood in here. And it generates RF pretty slow. Let's take this guy off of here. Okay. Let's take this guy off there too. And looks like this is doing its business. So this generates RF pretty slow. You can kind of see per material that's in there, it'll run for 2.5 minutes. And you can burn pretty much anything in here. If it's burnable, it should work. Should be fine. Now, the reason this thing isn't filling up the way it's supposed to, like it's sitting at 5 out of 10,000 RF, you're going to see that these flux duct, these are also, they carry a certain amount of capacitance there. So they have a capacity and they will store it. So whatever machine it gets hooked into, that's kind of where that'll go. Now, this coal generator, let's go check this out, because we can do this a couple different ways. Let's do another single on top of that. And we're going to do a full block as well. Okay, so this guy, once this is filled, which is there, it looks like this is doing about 100 and what? Almost 200? crystal flux. So between crystal flux and RF, the difference, I don't think it's any different. Crystal flux and RF are the same, I think. So, but as you can see, now the survival generator is actually filling up since we've filled this. And I think the system's smart enough to know that since these aren't saturated with any RF, if we were to attach these right away, it would start pumping this shit in there. But anyway, there's 10K RF stored here, and we're free to use that whenever. So this is just pumping away, and you can kind of see here the coal generator doesn't have as nice of a UI to see what this is doing, but it's got the flames like the old furnace style. So that's how that works. And this guy's just doing his business. So you've got some RF generation here now that you don't have to do by hand. This absolutely still works, and I supplement it whenever I'm doing anything with the carpenter, especially on some of those circuit boards that take a while. Same with this thermionic fabricator. Probably should get some sand in there, so that's ready to go. But that's how those go. Let's take a look here. We've got our sawmill, and this is just a basic machine. What we can do, and I'm going to set this up to do this automatically. Anything we throw in this top chest, so any of this wood, is going to get automatically put into the machine, and it'll output into the chest on the right. Now, I'm going to do that. We're going to set this red is fine. We're going to shut this off on the left. Oops. And we're going to shut this off on the bottom and the back. And we're going to set this as orange. So with the sawmill, there's a certain amount of sawdust that comes out. Now, it might seem like that's not handy, but it is. You can make paper with sawdust, and I think there's some other things that you can actually make. But let's test this out. Now, our standard means of making wood here has been 2 planks. And it's always been 2 planks because that's the only way we could do it. Let's see if we can get some output here, and let's do a test here. Let's just say, let's do 3. So we should have had 6. 6 to come out of there, and we've got auto input disabled. I'm going to turn that on so it'll push these in, and there it goes. Now, right now it's got no RF, or hardly any. So let's hook this bad boy in. There it goes. And I don't think we necessarily need to put, you don't need an absolute shit ton of it. I'm going to let it fill, and then I'm going to take that flux duct off there again. And we'll just see what comes out of it. So we put 3 in and came out with 12. We should have had 6. We doubled it. There was no sawdust that time that I could see. No sawdust. So effectively, we've doubled what we had. So 4 planks instead of 2. So this is really handy. It means less trips out to the forest to start digging shit up, or chopping shit down, I should say. And then you're getting the added bonus of that sawdust for making paper and books and things like that. So that's where that is at. How's this coming out of here? It's looking like it's doing its business. Okay. So since this is a basic machine, there's no augmentation that we can put in here. There's different sets of stuff that you can put in. We'll get to some of that stuff later once we get to some of the other some of these style machines, the thermal expansion style. Because I think this is just a basic. Yep. So you've got redstone controls here too. Right now I've got it set to ignore. I don't care what it's doing as long as it's doing something and not wasting RF. So that's just fine. That's just doing its business. I should hook this thing back in though, so we can get the rest of this shit through there. And there we go. There's a little bit of sawdust, but lots of planks. Lots of planks. Everything's good. The one other thing I wanted to go through here, since this is probably empty. Yep. When you put this in there, this block of coal, the output should be the same, but this should run a whole lot longer. So if you seriously need to generate a whole pile of RF or or CF right away, you can throw in an entire stack of coal blocks instead of just regular coal, and this will run for much longer. Just keep in mind that there is probably some sort of waste here. I'm not sure. I guess that might not be the case. But just keep in mind, be conscious of what you're doing with it. So, survivalist generator, I mean, you could run this. I think you could probably put coal coke in this thing, and then it would probably just keep running. So this go for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Let's test that. Maybe I don't have any coal coke here. What else could we stuff in there? Could probably put some coal in there. I think I took everything out of here. Yep, took everything out. Maybe there's one in the table we could borrow. Yes, there is. And maybe we can catch it, maybe not. Yeah, so this will generate 160,000, and this will generate 15,000. So this will run significantly longer for, I mean, the cost there to do that is really low. Just keep that in mind. Coal coke is kind of the thing to use for anything in oven style thing. If you can make it fast enough, definitely use it. We'll just throw this guy in here and let it do its thing. And once this is full, it should be filling these banks again. Yep, looks good. Okay, so now that we've got that set up, let's take a look at these rewards. The sawmill, this is just a loot chest. And this one here, this is another loot chest. What did we end up with this one? 3 loot chests. So let's see if any of this stuff is useful. A little bit of glass, that's helpful if you need it. Sapphires, I'm pretty sure this is only good for equivalent exchange. And a little bit of iron, I guess that could have been worse. But now the next part here, and let's take a look at this very quickly. This stupid empowerer. And we looked at this before. And I made it in all caps because it's ridiculous. No, I'm just kidding. These display stands are ridiculous. And they're made with this aesthetic quartz, which isn't that difficult to make, but it requires this stuff, nether quartz. Now, I've already been to the nether, as you can tell. I've got Manilian pickaxe and stuff. Definitely find a place, and I'm not sure, in previous mod packs I've played that were really difficult, like on expert mode, shit would come through this portal. I don't see anything here, which is fine, but I definitely buried mine with I had a really shitty spawn too. It was kind of right out above the lake of fire, exposed to gas and stuff, which wasn't a lot of fun. So definitely bring some extra obsidian with a flint and steel, because if you need to make a new portal, I've been screwed by that once or twice. So just keep that in mind. Next time, I think we're gonna go over this stuff. I should have most of this stuff built for the next episode. Then we'll get this set up. It's gonna require some more flux duct in order to make it actually function correctly. But we'll take care of that. Then we'll do our first empowering and hopefully get this grindstone set up. So that's it for now. Talk to you next time.